I can't wait to get a new set and a whole new life. I've been really on edge lately emotionally. There's just been a lot of little things coming up and going on, and you know, I'm I just want to express and talk about um, ADHD and meltdowns and when they happen and just the emotions that come. It just seems so overwhelming and overbearing and just totally unnecessary a lot of times. You just kind of wish that you didn't have to feel things so intensely. And excuse me, I kind of feel like I'm making up for the rest of the world and what they're not willing to get in touch with. And sometimes I feel cheated, like I was cheated out of normalcy, um, because that level of emotionalism can impede normal functioning, you know. So I wrote down a couple of things that I wanted to actually gain, and me and my friend were going to do an exercise where we write down three things that we want to manifest and put it under our pillow. And I actually think it's a good idea. I think it's something that can help literally keep these things on your mind, or maybe you'll dream about how to go about achieving them, because there's always, well, not always, but oftentimes there's going to be action required by you, when you want something. And in this time, I want to make a lot of changes. I've already been on a path and a journey towards self actualization and things, and I want to continue that. I want to be very intentional about it, and I'm trying to align my words with what I want to see. And, but I just feel like this channel wouldn't be, and I know it's helping someone, even if it's just me. Like, I have to acknowledge that one person is enough because I am that one person. And if it's just me, then that's fine. But I have to address the not so good parts. Like, I have to address, I did not want to come on here and do this video today. Like, I was like, no, this is just not what I want to do. I'm so sick of the same surroundings. Like, I'm so sick of seeing the same things. And that's kind of like that kind of thought process and feeling is kind of what brought on the um, meltdown that I had the other day. It's basically where I got really worked up and then cried. Like, so I guess I consider that a meltdown. Um, I just, so I'm involved in a long distance relationship, and that in itself can be quite frustrating because the communication is getting better. I'm going to speak positive words, and it actually is, but it's just like, for a while, just being in different places, going through different stages in life, it's just like, okay, the communication just wasn't that great. But as it's getting better, I'm still adjusting, and this is kind of what I've asked for. I've been saying I want to be in something. I've been saying that I want to, not be alone. But it's really difficult actually kind of joining with someone when you guys have just been living different lives for so long. And it's kind of, I feel like maybe every relationship needs to have a rhythm that both people kind of agree on. And if you haven't established that, then it's going to be like a little bit like, okay, I'm expecting one thing, he's expecting another, I'm expecting one thing, he's doing another, he's not even thinking about certain things, I'm thinking about it all the time. It's like, okay, we need to get on the same page. It's time to get on the same page. So, one of the things that, trust is a huge thing for me. And I didn't even know this about myself. I really, because also at the same time, I'm like overly trusting. So I didn't even know that I had an issue with trust until my last relationship. It's really weird to think of these relationships in sequence because they did overlap for a while, but now I'm kind of focusing on this person because it feels like it's time to. It's like I have no explanation as to why. It just feels like it's the right thing to do. And when I follow my heart, things seem to work out better. It feels like an invitation to focus on that. So I'm like, I'm gonna take it, and I think that it's gonna be a good thing. Um, so, but there's so many things that we disagree on. Oh my gosh. That's for another day. That's for another video. That's for another topic. Um, what am I thinking about? What am I saying? Where was I? I was talking about, you know, getting into a rhythm with communication. Oh, so I was watching this film, and the film had some. I get really triggered by films. Like I love rom coms and relationship, series and things like that. And I'm watching some stuff on Netflix, and I'm like getting so emotionally tied up into it, and it actually triggers some thoughts and ideas about my own relationship and the trust issues that can come about. And I just got so overwhelmed with emotion. Now, if I'm watching something and I get overwhelmed with emotion and it's not connected to anything in my life, then it won't have an effect on that thing. But if it is, it's like it affects that thing. And I'm not going to say I took it out on him. I had questions. And we had to have a really serious talk about, do we actually want to do this? Because this is hard. This is any relationship is hard. Anything long distance is going to be have an added challenge or more. I'm just so sick of this. Oh, like I have to find a new background. It's like even that, it's like really frustrating to me. Like I'm not like, is anyone else freaking out about this? Like this is sad. Like I'm so annoyed right now. Like I said, I did not want to do this video. Like I like to come here in high spirits because I feel like the 1 or 8 people that may see this, I mean, hey, if I had an audience of 8, I'm going to perform like there's 8,000. I mean, if it's intimate, I'm going to perform differently than if it's in a huge, as a singer. But the point is, I'm going to give it the same intensity. So anyone who sees this, and plus I deserve to give it my best. Okay. So I've got to do that for me. So I just wanted to follow through, like follow through can be so difficult for ADHDers. Like I just wanted to freaking follow through no matter how I felt. I want to start instilling that kind of discipline within myself. And by the way, this tea is so good. Speaking of discipline, which I don't know how it has to do with it, but it's so like sweet. And there's like, it's black tea, but it has like the orange rind or orange peel in there. Plus, I love these teacups because they're from my grandmother's, my late grandmother who passed away. Her tea set, it's hard and emotional for all of us. Like everybody's going through something. Um, but yeah, it's just been really difficult to just feel normal, feel like, so in the show, the girl packed her bags and she was just like, I'm leaving everything. Like I don't feel like I can trust anybody and I'm leaving everything. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I feel like if I don't do something new in my life, I'm going to go crazy. And I think I've felt that several times in my life whenever I've been doing the same thing over and over again. And so it just goes to show how I never knew this was related to ADHD, but the routine. And like I was trying to explain to my mother that I really think that a good way to explain it is like just what the normal person needs, a person who doesn't have ADHD or something similar, like needs to feel like their life has a meaning and purpose and is going in a certain direction, regardless of like having a plan or not. Like they won't need as much. I mean, for someone like me though, I really needed and need a lot of stimulation. Now, here is the key to this. the lesson that I learned in all of this, what's great about the person I'm seeing right now is that they kind of talked me down and really reassured me that all the plans that I've made to better myself are actually not going to be in vain. They are going to be for a good purpose. They are actually going to come to fruition and everything's going to be fine, because that's what like a lot of people need to hear, like everything's going to be fine, right? But it didn't feel like everything was going to be fine. It actually felt like something awful was going to happen. I mean, I guess you could say it was almost like a panic attack type of feeling, but I don't, my heart wasn't really beating so fast. It just seemed like, excuse me, it just seemed like if I don't do something right away. So it was less of something net bad is going to happen and I don't know what, I just really feel like something horrible is going to happen. Please help me. It was more of if I don't do something right now, something different, something to break the monotony of my humdrum life, then then things are going to fall apart. So I feel like that's less of a panic attack and more of a just an impulsivity attack, maybe call it that, or impulsivity overwhelm. I mean, I don't really want to use the word attack. I'm trying to maybe create new language around some of these feelings and emotions. So, what I learned from that is that I just, if I can get ahead of those feelings, like I've gotten ahead of my temper, and I'm like getting emotional thinking about like how much progress I've made. Like I've come a long way, and I'm not going to take that away from myself. I've come a long way. So I'm trying to learn to get ahead of the feelings. When I feel that way, I need to remember that it's not true. Um, I am doing the right thing. I actually have a plan and I'm still planning for 2020, but I have the tools. I did it last year, so it's that much easier this time to actually plan things. I have some things in place in my life that actually make my life feel worthwhile. And in that moment, I've forgotten those things, you know? Um, and so it's a matter of just reminding myself of what's true. This is why I wanted to come here today and do this. Not come here, but like come on here and do this because um, I want people to see just the internal battles that happen mentally, just within yourself, ju- just within yourself. So I'm, I'm, that was a key moment. I'm going to remind myself and tell myself next time, oh, remember when you had this feeling? But look at, I'm looking at the calendar on the wall right here. Like it's here. Like I've made the plans. Like I've got a calendar here. I've written out my visions for my life and how I see my life going. And this new relationship that's not really new, but like this revived relationship is scary. Like it's scary to join with anyone for any reason, I mean, truly to give your heart, Um, but still, I feel like I'm on the right path. So if I can get ahead of the feeling, then I'm going to be better. If I can get ahead of it, then next time maybe it won't be so intense. Maybe it won't feel so overwhelming. Um, and I've gotten through that with the feelings of depression as well, the feelings of feeling like a loser and all of that. Like I'm so glad it wasn't that this time. I thank God for that. That it wasn't those feelings this time. That means, I always think about if I can't be in the same place this year, next year, right, that I'm in this year. And already I understand so much more about myself than I did this time last year. about what's right for me, about what isn't. Um, so I'm feeling pretty good, and I basically have a new wardrobe. I mean, I love this top so much. I'm exploring new styles. My group, this musical trio, is like we actually hadn't met in a while either. I just noticed when I do a lot more performing, like I just feel better. But I'm trying to balance between going out because most of the music events are held at night. Excuse me, going out and balance that between rehearsing and working on music. But I also know that like just getting out there and being with people is something that's really important for me as an extrovert. I have to remember that. I have to actually do that. School is starting next week, so I will be learning something new, something to focus on. I'm excited about that. I'm also scared because I'm like, what if I don't like it? You know, what if I feel like I want to switch once more? And I just feel like sometimes my life is a never ending cycle of that. But if you have ADHD or if you know someone with it, you understand that. So, you know, I am an incredible human being. I just have to say that. I've already named myself Woman of the Year. And that comes with a lot of responsibility, you know? Like if I'm Woman of the Year in whatever way or circle, I must have really done something incredible. I must have done what this fortune says right here, and not just live and let live, but live and help live. I really believe that service is so important to being great. But yeah, that's the story of the meltdown, and that's I wish I could give more detail. I'm just exhausted, but I am glad I pushed through and did this video. I'm working on my business plan as well, just for me as an artist, like as someone who's a performing artist and writer and all of that. I just dumped all of that stuff in there, and it's helping me see my world in a whole new way. It's helping me just see the possibilities and really understand the resources that are available to me. I'm, I'm super blessed, and none of this is in vain. And I know that everything that I've asked for, I'll get. So I better be careful, right? um, as cryptic as that may sound, it is true. And, you know, I believe the Bible has been misused, but there is a beautiful scripture that says, if you seek the kingdom of God, which is in you, then all of the desires of your heart will be given to you. I mean, if that hasn't been my experience, then I don't know what has been. If you go on a journey of self-discovery and you're not afraid to dig into the ugly parts and the dark parts, then you will discover something so beautiful inside yourself. You will discover God. You will see God, and you will know God. And you will begin to manifest things in such a beautiful way. Like, I don't know, man. It's just beautiful. Like I asked for a team. I asked for a partner. I asked for beauty, and I'm just receiving all of those things. It's in just a way I couldn't have written a better script for the movie of my life. I am really, really grateful. I'm like praying 2 times a day now. I mean, I pray at 11:11, and sometimes I pray a little bit after that. But the point is, like, I'm just trying to use. It has to kind of. It can't be like too rigid for me. But I know that if I just see the clock, it's 11:11. I just go within myself. I just go to God, and if I can't think of anything to say because my mind is too scattered, because that happens so often, I just say thank you. So thank you. And I'm going to end this video now. So please subscribe